Hello, beautiful spirit, and welcome back to part 2 of the series of the mindset. As you can see, I'm currently chilling in nature. So in the last video, I talked about why you should combine the belief system and the attitudes, and I went over the attitude, but I'm going to go further in depth in terms of mindset. You see, all of these rich and wealthy folks, they're aware not just about their surroundings, but they're also aware about themselves. Now, sure, some may lose a sense of reality, but some of them actually is aware about how they process, how they feel. Why? Well, it's simple. If you find yourself in a super highly stressful situation, whether that is you're going to close a client, whether it is you're about to do a sales call to somebody, cold calling, doing outreach, whatever it is, they are just so aware about their feelings. And so do you want to know what they do before they endure in these highly stressful situations? They sit down, just like I'm doing, and they meditate. But why would they meditate? I'm going to tell you why they meditate. You see, the reason why they meditate is because they want to have a clear, concise mind. Now, it's just they don't want to have a clear, concise mind, but they want to remain poised. And that's the key, poise. You want to remain poised at all times. And I'm telling you, if you have the ability to remain poised, no matter what stressful situation you're going to go through, you'll be all right. But why? You see, it all comes down to your intelligence. You're able to respond more appropriately to very stressful situations. So if you find yourself in a situation where your car breaks down, yes, it would be an extremely stressful situation, but you know immediately who to call. Especially maybe if you didn't have a little bit of money or this or that, you'll still be able to call somebody by having a calm tone, because you practiced not just being mentally tough, but you also are responding appropriately. Now, see, not many people meditate, and because of that, they would respond in an inappropriate manner when they are in a highly stressful situation. So, meditation, in my opinion, is one of the very few things that's going to get you to where you want to go. Now, you need to combine meditation with other things. Journaling. The reason why you want to journal is you're learning about yourself. You're learning about yourself in terms of your experience. You're learning about yourself in terms of how you process and think. And more importantly, you're learning about yourself in terms of how you behave. So if you journal and you write down, okay, here's what I did, here's what went wrong, here's how I felt about this, about that. People just write and forget, but you really want to read about the shit you wrote, because then you're going to gain a further, better understanding of who you truly are at the core. Now, do you want to know who knows you more than you? You. You're the only person in this world that knows yourself more than you. Your mom may claim she knows you more than anybody. Your dad can claim she knows you more than anybody. And that's true. But do they know you more than you? And that's the question. And you gain that insight through journaling and meditation. Now, the next thing that's going to get you to where you want to go is you want to let go of the grudges you hold. I'll tell you a backstory. See, I hold a grudge against this one very individual. I'm not going to mention names, but every time I hold a grudge against somebody, it's like my mind can't just get rid of the shit that they did to me. And that stinks because I have something that's going for me, that's going to get me to that point, and I can't just stop thinking about the person that did me wrong. And as a result, I'm fucked up mentally, and I am not able to perform to the best of my abilities. And so to perform to the best of your abilities, you need to have a clear, concise mind, number one, and you also want to have a goal where you are free from any distractions. So holding a grudge against somebody is a distraction. Now, these gurus are gonna tell you, they're telling you, you can't become rich, you can't become wealthy, you gotta, they're telling you all that, you have to put in 90 hours a week, you gotta hold like a pretty big grudge against these people, blah, 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 blah. They'll tell you to hold a grudge. They telling you that because everybody is downing you. And so, because of that, you gotta hold a grudge against that. And if you make it on the top and people wants to come back to you, you're gonna have to say, they're gonna be like, we're gonna be back with you because you make it to the top. And then you're gonna hold a grudge against them because they said that you couldn't do what you wanted to do. And that's the wrong way to go about things, because you will not be happy. You will not have fun in the process of getting into the top because you're letting people get into your mind. The only thing that speaks louder than words is actions. And if somebody do something about it, you're gonna know it. So if you tell them straight to your face, hey, I'm gonna be rich. I'm going to be rich. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? You may not say anything along these lines, but if you tell them what you're going to do about it, they'll show you. Actions speak louder than words. So it's so important that you recognize what they do. It's not what they say, it's what they do. And it's what they do that holds more weight. Yes, sure, a person of influence may hold a lot of weight in their words, but that's all there is. It's words. Why would you hold a grudge over what the fuck they say? To me, that does not make any sense whatsoever. You want to know what they do. So if you hold a grudge against somebody for what they do in the past, let that bitch go. That's not going to get you anywhere you want to go in life. Fuck finances. What about personal life? What about if you have children? How would your children feel against you if you hold a grudge against somebody? It's going to affect your children too. What about your significant other? They're going to feel some type of way because you wouldn't let go of that grudge. So you want to meditate, you want to journal, you want to let go of the grudge. And the final thing I want to talk about mindset is the best winning mindset that you can have is one that is always prepared. You want to be prepared. You want to always have the expectation of, okay, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. Now, why would I say that? Because there are things that goes on beyond our control that we want to control. And that is true. But we want to have control over the things that we can control. And so it's very important that you prepare yourself for some of the things that either comes your way and you know what to do, or you just try your best to prepare to be unexpected. A person that is prepared, well, it's the person that's going to be very, very successful. So be prepared. You want to meditate. You want to journal. You want to let go of these grudges. All right. And these people that has the most successful lives going on, they do all four of these things, man. Every single day. Now, in the last video, I mentioned that they build mental toughness. That's another thing they do. They build mental toughness through what? Doing things that is uncomfortable. And I put myself in an uncomfortable situation. I sleep on the floor because that's uncomfortable, but it actually helps me health-wise. I run in the cold weather. I mean, it is pretty cold out. I even do stretches that some people would find discomfort. I even do calisthenic workouts that will make some feel uncomfortable. And so the more and more of these uncomfortable activities like that you do, the more and more that you build the mental toughness. So do these activities consistently. All right, don't do that bitch every day because you would then get burnt out. Just try to be as consistent as possible. That's the key. It's not an everyday thing, it's a consistent thing. The journaling got to be consistent. The meditating got to be consistent. If you still hold a grudge, letting go of a grudge got to be a one and done thing. You let go of a grudge, then you move on. And all the things that I mentioned, it has to be at a consistent basis. So if you are able to do all of these things, plus on top of that, implementing your belief system that you built up for yourself, a very strong belief system, you will then have a mindset where you will not only be aware of everything around you, you'll be aware about what you thought, how you feel, and how you really behave. And in the last video, I mentioned that success and failure is determined by these three factors. And to be successful, you do all three of these things. But if you do fail, it's because what you're thinking is insufficient. How you feel is costing you all these opportunities. And your behavior is not to the standard of what a successful person should look like. So you do want to kind of take an inspiration out of what these successful people do. You want to mimic what these other rich people are doing and try to spin it into your own world. See, you are unique, okay? And you have needs that is tailor made only for you. So what you want to do is you want to take a page out of their book, mix it up, and try to make this shit your own. And that's another thing that's going to get you to that place. You want to be independent as possible, but also you want to build a culture around you. Now, the one thing that I have never mentioned yet is that the belief system is your culture. Yes, your belief system is your culture. Because when you destroy your belief system, you're essentially destroying the culture that you once knew. You're essentially destroying your culture that you've inherited from your parents. Now, of course, if you are somebody that loves being around culture, that loves learning about things, then you want to keep some culture parts in your system. All right. But other than that, essentially, you want to build a culture around yourself. If you're able to do that, if you're able to build a culture around you in terms of what you stand for and who you are, bro, I'm telling you, you're going to attract people that might have the same mindset as you, or people that is interested in what you're saying. So you want to do what? You want to have people to know you. You want people to like you because of what you stand for. And if they know you, they like you because you're exchanging information. You're putting time and energy into these people, getting to build them up to be like a cool little friend. Then they'll be able to trust you. And trust comes from people that knows you and people that really likes you. Even if you have a big difference of opinion, what I'm saying is you want to be an influential person. You want to be the person that stands for what you think is right You want to stand for a person that believes in something, and you just build a culture around that. And so you implement that belief system, you implement the mindset that you have, that you go every single day, and also teaching about your belief system, your mindset to other people. Hey man, you're gonna have a pretty successful life. And one final thing before I go, you also want to enjoy the things that is around you. I love nature. I love nature so much because it keeps me grounded to earth. And essentially, I just collect my thoughts, I collect my feelings, I collect my observations here. So I'm a big nature guy. So with that being said, if you find this video to be pretty informational, give this a thumbs up and make sure you share this video with your friends. And always remember, you're the star that shines. Your hype is real. Always, always remember that. I'll see you in the next one.